come here. Sound system. I say walk up test. Big to hi-fi, 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 big to hi-fi.
Just one night, New York City. One night, New York City. So then, he fucked her all night. Fucked her all night. Fucked her all night. Fucked her all night. Just one night in New York City. It's just one night.
That I was making a point about today is that Piccadilly Place is now Leith Walk, right? So Leith Walk starts at the top of Broughton Street. Leith Walk is now from St Mary's Cathedral, bottom of Leith Street becomes Leith Walk, and this is outrageous. This is an outrageous affront. Like, you know, if you go,
why, Aberdeen money. For argument, in fucking Union Street, check the fucking state of the UK High Street today, like. Fucking, the fuck's this thing?
Scott Arthur found the money from Sustrans. And Sustrans is supposed to be promoting all the time active travel and cycling and stuff, but there's no cycle lane. So they found this money to create this extended beer garden and a bridge and some sort of app.
And I swear go. I do his brother-in-law, I know he wants to show. I'm here. Let him come true. Forever young. I want to be forever
Technique we used to use to delete just one word or one beat. It's called spot erasing. I have a beautiful chorus lined up on the tape recorder right now, and you'll notice halfway through there's a line that says, to find yourself. We're going to want to erase the word to.
Don't cry.
You're staying until 65.
I don't intend to be here in the next year. I don't intend to be in this country. This country is rubbish. No. People are just pretending. No. You're working literally to pay your bills. And it wasn't like that years ago. So when people say, oh, but you're meant to work. Yes, you're meant to work. But when I was looking at some stats, in 1985, the average house price in the UK was £29,000. The average salary was £14,000. Look at this. The average salary was £14,000 in 1985, and the average home was 29 grand. That was just double. The average salary now in the UK is what?
Your woman could pay that in 4 years.
The average salary now in the UK is roughly about 30 odd K. The average property price in the UK now is 240 something for a house. It's 10 times nearly. It wasn't like that meant to be on right now, technically is. If the average is 240, if we were to keep with the level or the ratio back then, we should be on about...
Would you like to take this opportunity to say sorry to pensioners like Chrissy?
Well, I am really concerned that we've been put in this position. When you inherit an economy with £22 billion...
I'm rhyming and designing, also creating the dope death rhyme that is always being taken by a sucker MC that wants to be like me. No trait of originality. From the rock, wood, quarry, common barn, I'm looking at the slump area. They gonna wear me up, it don't carry trailer, your press no button. I feel shot fire, and man get shot and the body starts battle, though we're rocking at the DJ at the back.
Just as the animals now talk, and the earth yields milk and honey, supernatural sounds emanate from him too. He feels himself a god, He himself now walks about.
This was a picture that Lothian Buses put up yesterday, and it made me feel nostalgic. It made me feel momentarily nostalgic, and it just seemed like, I think John himself said in the reply, simpler time.
Loic Show offers a profound exploration of the intersection between technology, corporate power, and environmental decay. Once a vast, thriving landscape of
people. They put a missile in every kitchen, a rocket in every garage. I said to the people of Lebanon this week, get out of the death trap that Hezbollah has put you in.
My name is...
Want me a name, don't want me a body. From a young pup, be more than naughty. Up front like I'm riding shorty. I set these trends that you paste and copy. Nothing you do can stop me. Always game for a box like Rocky. We red on your top like a poppy. So where I grew up.
You the first motherfucker to jump to the trunk when it's time for funk. Little trick ass punk. Fuck motherfuckers don't die. We get high, we multiply, motherfucker. Keep a holler to my niggas in the bank. I'm living in LA, still clutching on my AK. Rest in peace to my nigga Kato. Till they probably need nigga Lato. Fuck for life.
I did this show in Edinburgh, and I had a very weird day in Scotland. About halfway through the month, I got a 4-star review from The Guardian. And it was the first 4-star review that The Guardian had given out for comedy last year. And it made a big difference. Like,
Buenos dias. Good morning. I mean, I'm allowed to be mental, right? Everyone's allowed to be mental. Synchronized Souls podcast, caught alive, yay, that's Zoe, how you doing then? Oh, I'll tell you what, is that gonna... Right, wait a wee second. I'll get with the programme. I'm a bit properties. Okay. Good morning to you, Zoe. I hope you're well. Kit Kat's morning to you. Arpignon morning to you. Morning, Rona. Gregor, Terence McKenna. Wise words from Terence McKenna that I also fully concur with. People get wound up by it because, like, how could culture? What do you mean culture's not your friend? Culture is the lifeblood of existence. Very true. But it's dominant capitalist culture that's stolen from other people and repackaged and sold back to get dollar out your pocket, your pal. Nah. So when we use that term, that's what we're talking about. This culture, on the other hand, is your ever loyal comrade. Right, I'm a wee bit slow this morning. I just realised that I just realised that I hadn't posted any of my links. Not that it matters, because there was some of you were here already, thirsty in anticipation of my presence. Which, given the circumstances, I'm quite amazed that I even managed to bring forth. Who is here? Is anyone here? Morning, Sharpie. King of Clubs. Watcha. Watcha. Right. A small but valued gathering on a Wednesday morning. There is no agenda. So, look, the fact that I'm here at all is a great achievement, let me tell you. But I've got my cafe, I've got my coffee. See, I didn't drink anymore for a long time. But I did used to go to the boozer and folk would know what I wanted. I wouldn't have to ask. Look at this. This is the sort of, where is this love coming from? I find this quite, I don't quite know how to deal with this when people do things like this. But I can't, Merry Christmas to you. How did I get this to? Thanks for all the effort and entertainment over the past couple of months. That's massively appreciated. Thank you very much, Arpignon. I think I heart that too. Is that how it works? I don't know. Thank you to you. Much appreciated. Jimmy McRae. Jimmy the Piper. I'll tell you what I'm going to do actually, because I don't have opening the till. I like it, yeah. I don't have look, we never have an agenda, but normally I do have a sense of like, right, I'll talk about this, I'll talk about that, I'll make a few bookmarks and stuff. But honestly, I've not had a minute between yesterday and today, and I was just knackered yesterday. I did have a great and I've also got quite a busy week. I've had a busy week and I've got a busy week, which means Friday I might not be doing Friday, and I need to have a think about the Fridays, to be honest. There's a few things cropped up that I was unaware of about the Fridays, so I might have to rethink about that. But don't worry, we'll find the right way to schedule things. But Friday all day I'm recording with Gutter Blood during the day, so I'm not sure if I can get Friday's thing figured out. But what I will do, I'm going to play one of Jimmy's tracks at some point this afternoon. That's where we're at. At some point this morning, I'll find Jimmy's Schadenfreude and play that. But aye, good to see you all. Who's in the who's in the house? Who's in the house? Mystic Peg. Mystic Peg. So, yesterday, Anne-Marie Ward very kindly came over and we had a really interesting chat. We spoke about Favour, which is Faces and Voices of Recovery, which is her organisation, her recovery organisation. And we spoke about, just cut the breeze about a bunch of different stuff, mainly to do with her work, which is very important. I didn't catch it. No, I will catch You Call That Radio. I haven't caught any of that. I missed the other. I've seen Mark's been doing some amazing stuff. I just haven't had a chance to check it all. The other one that I was really keen to watch is the one with Jaylee CCTV and Jam Harvey, because they're brilliant. And Jaylee he was doing a live with somebody else last night as well, and I was in the middle of something and he sent it and I watched a few minutes of it. It was great. But no, they're great. Check out what Mark's doing is brilliant. He's the pioneer, and I will catch up, but it's like everything, isn't it? It's like, hey, we never have enough fucking time. Was it good? Was it good? Are you going to Loki's gig? He's got his show in Glasgow, hasn't he? He says it's going to be his last. He's not using his. I haven't paid attention to it. Honestly, it's not that I'm not interested. I just haven't had a chance. I think he's saying he's resigning his artist name. But Willie. I said before, I need to play that as well. I need to play. I'll maybe play that today. Actually, in fact, I will play that today. I'll play it. In fact, I'll play it in a minute. Give me a minute to get my head together. But no, yeah. So Anne-Marie came over yesterday, and we had a great chat. And I'll get that edited up. I'll try and edit that today. There's not a lot of work needs done to it. I just needed to do a few bits and bobs to get it sorted out. Did I put a clip out there? Hold on, I think I might have a clip out there.
He threatened me afterwards. He suggested that if I didn't publicly apologise, he would get his friends to pull my funding. And when I told him that his friends didn't fund me, he buckled down and said that, I should really give that serious concern. I was then approached by someone else a few minutes later who suggested to me that I really should apologise because he was quite dangerous. And my response to that person was, what do we do with bullies? We stand up to them. We don't let bullies bully us. And I've got that intrinsically through me again, like a stock of rock from I was a wee kid. I've always stood up to bullies.
He has a well-known career trajectory that's taken him among various conflicting avenues of political opportunities. So I don't think integrity is a particularly familiar term to him anyway,
Yeah, well, you were saying about, becoming
So that was cool. That was great chatting to Anne-Marie, and hopefully I'll have that up as soon as I can, and you can check that out, check out that discussion. But many thanks to Anne-Marie for coming through. I really appreciated that, and I really enjoyed talking to her. Let me see. So there's a few things been going on, as always. Did we see there was a lot of the pictures doing around yesterday of Rafa and various. It was at Jabala and Rafa, where it was the before and after images. Let me see if I can find them. Is it Rafa? If somebody's got. Is that how you spell it? I'll come back to it. I should have looked it out. I should have bookmarked it. But there was the The before and after images, just devastating. Insane levels of destruction. And so I don't know how you how you process that, really. Banging on about hostages and stuff when you've destroyed everything, basically, you know. So I don't know. You know, we're not all past. We're past. There's no. It's just so beyond all sense, isn't it? There's nothing. There's no sense to be made of any of it. We're just warming up. Don't worry. Oh, it's 1F, Rafa. How do I... Hold on a minute. Sharpie's very kindly giving me something. Let me see if I pop it up here. It's insane, man. Honestly, it's absolutely bonkers. Let me pull this over here. How do I put this here? Look at a wee screen. Check it, man. Look at that. I mean, how do you... There was another one I saw. It was like a lower elevation one. I don't know what you meant. What you meant to say, you know. Did I put it on my... Hold on. I don't know whether noisy park. One can't resist the wit and sarcasm of the What the X crew. Listen, right? I'm not going to apologise for not being super dynamic today or being massively organised. It's a team effort, right? Sharpie says the result of human shielding. Yeah. Glad I've not missed much today. No, mate, you've not missed much. You've not missed much. Let me see. Did I put it on my? Maybe I put it on my. I think I woke up in the middle of the night or something and stuck it on my story or something.
Do you live in Palestinian?
I know that this has got the funny audio. Yeah, I think that was it there. That's right. What's this? So this is Jabalia. I mean, what can you say? This is mind blowing. It doesn't. The year of death, the year of destruction, the year of inhumanity, you know. What's this, is Bram? Oh, that's nice. Bram Given has got what do you call it? Nominated, which is cool. for his book Strange Exiles, which is great. No, what's happened? Has the broadcast stopped? What, has it stopped for you, Sharpie? Or is that just a... have I done something wrong? Is the subdued nature of this morning's... is this sharpism? Or is it just stopped for you? It's not stopped, I'm still here. There are some strange technical things going on at the minute, so I don't know if it's something to do with that you're referencing. I'm trying to... Right, sorry, just bear with me a second. I see it's maybe hung on X. X not working. You refresh your page. Just refresh your page. I noticed Elon Musk was going on about something. He was sorting something on his live streams, so he's probably fucked it because he's Raj. X not working. Well, you know, I'm not exactly working this morning either, like, you know. Now, let me just go to this. I'm going to fix this. Hold on a minute. Let me go back to this. That's what I was trying to do. Right, okay. I've sorted that. One thing, hold on a minute. Right, you were telling me about something. I'm going to play this track because I think it's a great track. It might be a bit, if I can find it. There it is there. So this is the Laird of Camo, who is an occasional attendee. He made this video with Loki. So if it is Loki's last appearance as Loki, so be it. But this was one of my favourite pieces of work that Loki's done, and a great video by Stevie, which is actually, the shots at the start are Seafield Sewage Works from a drone. So let me play this. I'll be back in a moment. I'll play this track in honour of Loki's departure from the land of Loki Land. 2-6. Here we go.
Well, come in brash. Fuck the fash. Just in case anybody's wondering where I fucking stand, burn the flags. Fuck the facts. We are now for the looting glass. Welcome to Wonderland, where being right's more important than taking the time out to understand. Who needs political music? We've got Taylor Swift doing mumble rap. Who needs an artist with principles when there's a humble brag that you can double tap? Who cares if food banks are bigger than factories now full of pensioners losing their hair thanks to governments cutting back? Journals saying nothing's no something I'll fucking hack. So who's up for a tongue lash? No cunt's gonna make no comeback for a fucking grudge match with yours truly hanging up with thumbtacks. Scotland the brave, turn on your telly, welcome to Terradome. Strip down this track to my voice and no beat. Every beat of the metronome represents another 20 or 30 more persons on methadone, so fuck a pleasant note. I piss on a poetry slam to the champion, hands me a megaphone so I can set the tone. Tom Leonard's no dead, he's away, get peace for your culture and mourned his demise. But when Tom was alive, it detested him. Banned off for being taught in school cause the low status language offended them. No wonder so many kids tired of poetry, no representing them. They diss me for taking donations for rolling, but that is so stupid. Some people are sorry that Harry Potter got more kids than they reading and going to school did. Welcome to Britain, pleb, where you can't be poor if you own a phone, but you can't access benefits without the internet, and you can get to Paris on a train quicker than you can to Inverness. Where kids can't play hopscotch on thin cement without getting hit for rent by your landlord's infrared. We're sent to the stads are okay when the preemptive strikes are against the Afghans and Iraqis, but claim that the lefties are fighting the skinheads or fascists for putting their hands on the Nazis. I'm a student who grew up in affluence. Please make his campuses safe for a step at the uni gate down the estate for a taste of a life that is actually dangerous. Unless your notion of social justice and identity align identically with those who understand perfectly, you'll get aggressive lectures on diversity. What play parks and libraries are now we're told just impractical luxuries, while royal weddings for Z-listed blue bloods receive generous and non-taxable subsidies. Political leaders are frightened to fight multinational companies. All they can do is keep tipping their hats to the middle classes in these flag-waving dunderheads. Meanwhile, Tories who grew up in boarding school sell off the country and drive us delirious, telling communities they would just need to get over things they never had to experience.
Well, fuck me, eh? That's a fucking stormer, eh? I'd forgotten how good that was. I remember I loved it at the time. So, absolutely brilliant. A great marriage of visuals and lyrical exquisiteness there. So, Loki at his finest in my opinion there. Right, okay, let's get I've nearly finished my coffee, right? We're moving in the right direction. We are moving slowly. Right. What's this I'm being sent? Yeah, remember Biden's red line. Remember all eyes on Rafah. Remember the limited ground operation. Yeah, and I think that this was the image that I think that was the same one on my Instagram. Look at that. This is just a stain. This is just a stain. Why would we why would we have a Prime Minister, you know? How could we find ourselves having an administration that weren't able to adequately condemn this? But not only adequately condemn it, you know, they are, we know they're complicit in it, and they're funding it. The British establishment, the British government are funding it. I tell you what, I know I've been banging on a bit. I mean, I know I've been banging on a bit about the end of the independence project as is and all that kind of stuff. But there couldn't really be a more morally significant. Remember, for example, I'm not digressing. I'm just not really on the button, but the whole point, the whole independence project, from its conception, was very much an anti-nuclear project. It was get the nukes away from Faslane. It was like get the nukes away. We don't want that. And it was about emancipating ourselves from being tied to the British state and being tied to having nuclear weapons on the Clyde and all the rest of it. It was very much an anti-imperial movement in many respects. And Sturgeon and co, they all bowed down to NATO, didn't they? They got all involved in that. But that to me is, you know, the British establishment, the British state have, you know, their hands are soaked in Palestinian blood. So what more could you want to do, morally, ethically, if you feel that having an independent Scotland removes you from that stain? And maybe that should be the focus. Why are Palestinian lives worth so much less than other human beings on the planet? Why have we allowed the destruction of Rafah? British-made weapons and munitions are going to have been massively involved in the destruction of that landscape, and who knows how many innocent people, or how many people are maimed. It's incomprehensible. Everybody's just getting on with that, and government are going on about the women aren't getting their pensions, and what about this and what about that, and it's like, what about the fact that we're murdering people and murdering children every single day? Starmer is complicit in this. Sharpie says Starmer is complicit in this. Starmer's utterly complicit in it. I mean, we should be at the gates, you know? We should be at the gates going, get the fuck out. What do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? You're representing us. You're supposed to be representing the people. Who in their right mind? Who in their right mind could possibly want to be associated with us in any shape or form, or whatever Arpagnon says? I'd like to live in a country that condemns stuff like that. You and me both, bro. For whatever you say about, you know, we've criticised Salmond and what have you. I mean, I think it's valid criticisms there. He wasn't a war hawk though. As far as I'm aware, he wasn't a war hawk. Great that you show solidarity and support for other talented artists, Bob. An impressive trait on this ego-damaged landscape. Well, indeed, but this is the culture. Christopher Latch preempted it 40 odd years ago with his fabulous tomb, Culture of Narcissism, and we are now living in the culture of narcissism, which probably has got a lot to do with the hold on a minute, probably got a lot to do with the how people compartmentalise the genocide. Noisy Parker says, at what point do we say enough is enough and stop complying with anything our morally bankrupt government asks of us? How about this point? How about right now? How about this point, this moment, right this moment? 10:31, Wednesday the 18th of December. How about right now, Noisy Parker? I honestly don't know. I think that I think that there's something. I think COVID and what happened with COVID and the kind of psyop that went on with COVID had a deep psychological effect on the populace. And I think the social control that kind of permeated through that Norrie Harman and I had a great chat when COVID first appeared. Norrie and I had a great chat. I made that little film about Norrie, which is on Discontent. It's called Pathogen Culture. I really, sometimes I make a piece of work and I really like it for certain reasons, and I really like that piece because one, I'm Norrie's biggest fan, and I think Norrie is Scotland's greatest living visual artist as far as I'm concerned. He's just a fucking genius, right? And his work, and the fact that it's like he paints with the mouse, you know. It's like he does brushstrokes, you know, and he's the absolute amalgamation of the material and the digital art, you know. Good to see you here, Sharpie. Have had to switch to the YouTube as the X broadcast was fucked for me. I don't know why. It seems to be working there, but I don't know if you're using it on a mobile. Anyway, Norrie and I had this chat on Pathogen Culture, on the little piece that I made with Norrie, and Norrie was kind of making this really interesting point where he was saying that it's almost like they'd been teeing us up for this type of social control measure with the type of media and films and stuff that they'd been making over the years. And I think there's some sort of truth in that. I think there's something in that. I think there's a sense of like that because we kind of exist in this psychopanopticon where aspects of social control are kind of conditioned into us. So people become fearful of authority, but it's fearful of an authority that doesn't even actually exist. It exists in their head, and it's been put in their head. And one of the things, you know, one of the reasons that, you know, the bankruptcy of neoliberalism and neoliberal culture is that neoliberalism isn't really, when you're really existing under like what I would maybe term like the neoliberal state. It's not really an authoritarian state. It's a consumer state. It's a commercial state, and there is no real authority. So, if you think about all of the leaders, pretty much post Thatcher or whatever, do you know what I mean? But if you think about, you know, Blair onwards, but certainly like Cameron, Theresa May, Starmer, these type of people, they're shit actors. They're fucking the shittest actors, and they take on, and if you think, and they've got this thing. I used to mock it a lot. I would call it fixed stare, furrowed brow. You like the Ruth Davidson and that do it. They focus that they do this thing. They've got this look. They all come from the same school of twattery, but it's like this. It's like the headmaster. It's like they all sort of like try to play this kind of headmaster role. Swinney is the same. They're all the same. You know, it's just an act because it's political theatre. So it's just these actors in the political theatre. So when was it Noisy Parker? Somebody said there, you know, about the revolution. Is it still on the screen? Actually, it's Sharpie. I've never seen. That's a cheery avatar that you've got there. Just where I'm at, Jimmy, go and DM me your Schadenfreude, because I couldn't find it there when I was looking. If I can't find it today, I'll play it another day. But you know that it's almost like it's a bit of an indictment on us. It's probably more so the English, you know what I mean, because they like to kind of have this sense that, like, you know, the British Bulldogs, like, you know, they don't take any nonsense or whatever. But they're incredibly subservient to the most pathetic, leadership. You know, they're piss weak. they're shit actors, and that's why it's always like they get really hardcore with the Law and Order stuff. You know, when it was the sort of liberal crackdown we spoke about before. You know, just how enthusiastic the liberals are to crack down on you know, the slightest little thing to flex their muscles. But that's why, you know, if we are going to have something different in Scotland, it's like get the SNP hunted and try to do something different and do something radical. You know, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people do actually. You know, I know what my analytics are for years, and my public engagement compared to my private engagement. A friend of mine once referred to what I do. We were talking about the cosmic difference between my public engagement and what my analytics are. You know, I could make a tweet where it would have 2 retweets and 3 likes, but it would have like 25,000 impressions and like 3,000 profile views, and do you know what I mean? And we would laugh about it. He once described it. We were talking about what other media would you have an incredibly low public engagement but a very high private engagement, and it would be porn. You know, so it's like political porn. It's like, so in some ways, I don't know whether it's like, you know, you're all seedy purveyors of porn, like, you know, those of you that are willing to be seen to engage with my content publicly. But no, there is a bit of that, you know. So it's like, you know, well, what, you know, it's hard to say, but I just feel that we've reached such a nadir. I made a point this morning. Stephen Flynn, Humza Yousaf has going to step down because he's probably going to lose his seat, I would imagine. He's maybe got some knowledge if that's the case or otherwise. And Stephen Flynn piped up and said, you know, I will never forget the fortitude that Humza showed when his family were trapped in Gaza. He showed a level of leadership that cannot be readily replicated nor forgotten. Enjoy the extra time with the kids and good luck with what comes next. You know, like, oh, very, you know what I mean? I said, I'll never forget when you and Swinney suddenly started to bang the drum for Palestinians because you thought it was expedient to your election campaign, then forgot about them once you got your Westminster slippers back. You're a public pus parasite and a fraud, because he is. Because see, if you actually really gave a fuck about Palestine and what's going on, you don't just pick up that issue because there's an election. You pick it up all day, every day, especially if you're an elected representative. And if you've got a public profile, then put a Palestinian flag in it. If you're going to put a Ukrainian flag and everything, put a Palestinian flag in there. And say something every day. Say something every day. If you're an elected politician, or you're an elected parliamentarian, or you're a local councillor, or whatever you are, and you oppose this disgusting genocide, this disgusting affront on humanity, and you're paid by the public purse, and you're elected, then I want to see what your principles are, and I want you to say something every single day. I want you to condemn the genocide every single day that you're in office. Total failure, man. They're frauds. They're just frauds. They're professional managerial class. There's not a scintilla. There's not a scintilla of politics between them. Right, okay, let's look at what's going on, because there you go. There's a kid with a bit of bullet in its head, like, you know. They can't even take it out because they've not got the surgical ability to do so. Look at this. 146,000 views. Did the National say anything about it? Did the Evening News say anything about it? Did the Herald say anything about it? Did they fuck? I tell you what, if some bellend had got like 5,000 views for some nonsense, they'd have been like, oh great video. No, you know what I mean? Like, fuck off. Pete Carson's a very funny man. I'm not going to play it though because I've got a wee issue with this delay thing that I need to sort out. So okay, so this is the the rerun of the by-election. We're back to politics. Once again, top of the list, your favourite political artist, the capital's most controversial political artist. Put me in the council, right? Just get me. I would go up there. That would be a laugh. But we'll get some of these people in there. I wonder actually. I tell you what I'll do, right? Have I got it here? Did I ever play? Nick Dunn, is that it there? This looks like it's done. I'll tell you what, I'll play this, right? 5 minutes, right? I'll play it in a minute, right? Because it's Nick Hornig. He's got a great voice. I might have played it before when it was. I might have played it before, but anyway, right? Let's see who else is here, right? So, Mev Brown. I think he ran last as an independent. Here we go. Neil Cuthbert, David Henry, who is actually a good guy, and would be a good councillor, and he's really hard working. And like I said, he only got 20 more votes than I did, and he was there like he just grafted like fuck. So it just shows you, you know. But so Nick Hornig, who I'll play, Nick basically should. He's not a homeless guy because he's a taxi driver, but I don't know if you remember that guy in America where they found a guy and he had an amazing voice and he became like a voiceover star. Nick Hornig should be basically. He's just got a brilliant voice. He's got brilliant tone in his voice. I'll play him in a minute. I did a wee video for him when he ran. In the summer when because he ran as a candidate for Westminster because he just hates the political class, quite rightly so. Grant Lidster Reform, Richard Lucas, he's the guy that told me to shut up in that mind at the Hustings. Fuck him. Idiot for the Green Party, Day Ken. This is a good guy to vote for. Mark Nay Party. I couldn't say for sure, but I think Mark Nay Party might have been inspired by the recent comedy sketch about the council. Peter Alexander, Liberal Democrats. Conor Savage, who's a carpetbagger, who's trying to be a Welsh MP and a what is it? Is Conor Savage? Arpignon calls it. Conor Savage, Labour's man in the Shetlands or Plaid Cymru's man in Bangor, exactly. And Mark Wilkinson, who's the Edinburgh People, who's, you know, I'm fond of Mark. He's got some. He's keen to get in. Any of these people, vote anybody over a party political candidate. You know that's obviously what you should do. But whether that message is going to get through to the affluent bubble dwellers in Colinton and Fairmile Head is another matter altogether. Let me play Nick Hornig's little video from the summer. I might have played it before on this, but I can't remember. But it's good anyway. I think Nick's great. I'll try and get him in for a chat at some point. I'll see if he's partial to it because he's a brilliant guy. 2 seconds. Where are we? Does Mark wear a hat? He does wear a hat sometimes. He wears a baseball cap. Yeah. He's fond of a baseball cap. Hold on a second, right? Here's Nick here.
My entire life has been Labour or Labour, and the pendulum back and forth. The circus just carries on. The standard of living declines even further. Every election is decided by about 35% of the electorate because they're the hardcore that the parties make sure get out and vote. The other 60-odd% say to each other, say to themselves, oh, what's the point? It's all rigged anyway. But that's exactly what the Uni Party want you to think. Because if 65% of the people got off their derrieres and turned out and voted for somebody like Mark Wilkinson or Nick Hornig or whoever floats your boat, just not the Uni Party, then you would see massive change overnight. Massive change. The cab trade to me is how I make my living, and I wouldn't swap the experience, but it just gets more and more difficult, you know. The costs are going through the roof. Everybody's feeling it, and let's face it, a cab is basically discretionary spending for most people, you know. I wish I could remember the MP who actually said this line. Happiness is the constituency in the rear view mirror.
For comedy.
Which, as I say, if that's how MPs feel about their own constituencies, and they simply cannot wait to get themselves back down to the flesh pots in London with the expense accounts in the swanky hotels, charging the taxpayer for their toilet rolls and their light bulbs and having their moats cleaned and all of that, you know. It seems to me that there is an active programme to do away with the small businessman, the independent trader, with over-enthusiastic enforcement of parking restrictions, etc., etc., etc. An example, my wife stopped outside Greggs. The time it took her to run in and buy a couple of chocolate eclairs and get back out again, and one of these buzz bombs on these mopeds had pulled up and was writing a ticket on her car. So those 2 iced cakes cost her over 30 quid that day. What they've done in Leith, how these traders in Leith are still hanging on after the absolute nightmare of the trams. It looks and feels and smells like a war on independent business to me. There is no footfall in Leith now. There's no money for social housing. We can't afford to keep our leisure facilities open anymore. What the hell is going on? But we need to send arms to Ukraine, and we need to get to net zero, which is an absolute pipe dream. Prioritising all the road systems to favour cyclists, it's just massive waste of money. The vast majority of road users are in cars, and we pay through the nose to be in cars. Cyclists don't pay any road tax. Cyclists don't pay any fuel duty. If you want to get yourself around by self-propulsion, then knock yourself out, but, you know, don't persecute me for your life choices. Me as a candidate, as an MP, hopefully it will inspire more realistic people, more dedicated people to think to themselves, yeah, that cabbie did it, Bonnie Prince Bob did it, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to give myself more than like a month to organise a campaign and put my name in the ring and all the rest of it, you know what I mean? Make a more cogent, more organised approach. We are absolutely going to get Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer, who said to that BBC anchorwoman, Emily Maitlis, when she asked him this question, Westminster or Davos, he responded instantly and said, Davos. That's the extent to which our so-called public servants have been captured by non-governmental organisations, these stateless globalists who have basically, to my mind, hijacked humanity. Do what you always did and get what you always got. I'm Nick Hornig, Edinburgh People candidate for Edinburgh West. Please vote for me July the 4th. Thank you.
I know there is no need for what's been done. I know there is enough.
Aye, it's good, eh? And I thought it was great. Like, I loved him. I really, honestly, he was such a cool guy, you know. And I mean, why would you not just want somebody like that? Even in the, you know, like, so he's running for the council now, right? So tell folk to vote for him. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why would you not want a cool cabbie, right, with a great voice in the council? An Edinburgh guy who gives a fuck and who understands what the script is. Instead, you've got all these teapots for fucking Timbuk fuck, you know what I mean? Alan Parley says, that was solid and convincing. Can't disagree with anything he said. That was good. I have a confession to make. When I looked there, look, I'm allowed to be a wee bit tired, right? I'm a wee bit sleepy. I put the wrong time on the X live stream, so it was my fault that it cut off. So, but anyway, nice to have you here, Sharpie. Get to see your jolly wee face in that. Anyway, so Nick Hornig is also running. Mark Nay Party. Right, I tell you what, it's gone to shit. I've now got a bleeding nose. This is a sign. This is a sign. I'm falling to pieces. I need to go and stick some tissue up my nose and sort that out. And also, I need to get Anne-Marie's thing sorted out. So hopefully, like and subscribe. Join my Patreon. I'm going to sort my Patreon out over the next 24 hours. And we'll get Anne-Marie's thing up there first and then get out at the weekend, I think, if I can do it that way round. Let me just clear this, sorry. So, thanks for joining me all this morning. Thanks for the super chat up and yon, much appreciated. I would apologise for being a bit subdued, but I'm not really going to. I don't know how many What the X's I've done now, loads. And we've done a lot since I started doing this. We've done some great stuff. And we'll continue. We will continue. I'm going to leave you with my mate. He is my mate, Cogent. He's in Port Antonio. He's one of the coolest guys I could wish to know in my life. And this is a track that he did a few years ago. And hopefully I'll get back to spend some time with him at some point and create some more music and video with him myself. So this is my friend Cogent from Portland, from Port Antonio on Jamrock, and this is Way Up. And I'll catch yous all when I'm next back. Pay attention and I'll let yous know when that is. Over and out. See yous later.
Yes, yes, you know, it's the voice of Cogent, yes, making them know, truth and light, up, no, far in the hills, far from it all, when me ready, way up, your ears close to me, go up. Far in the hills, far from it all. When we ready, we go way up, your ears close. We go up. When we the way up, me only see the green them, me only see the trees them, me only see the birds and the bees them, me only feel the cool breeze. And I breathe out, and I breathe in, me give thanks and rest in me receiving. Now, how could I be ashamed? I the king and the miracle, no, me not take misleading. Stay focused on my journey, me watching the proceedings. All with the most I teaching, me ready with them. In the hills, far from it all. When me ready with the way up, yeah, yes, close to me, God. When me ready, me there. In the the hills, yes, far from it all. When me ready with the way up, yeah, yes, close to me God. When me there way up, far up in the hills, and when me there with me God, far up in the hills, when me go and make a child, when me far away from human and close to Mother Nature. At them time me feel glad, to all me see people, I leave me feel bad. Them get up every day and I move like retarded. Big gun power waist, get up and I preach bad before them seek righteousness and try see God. When they ready me there in the hills, yeah, far from it all. When me ready me there way up, yeah, yes, close to me God. When me ready me there in the hills, yeah, so far from it all. When me ready me there way up, yeah, yes, close to me God. Yeah, to the most I make my thoughts, I'm a prayer. In my guide, my journey, in my guide, me through me rise, yes, so far in the hills, far from it all. When me ready, me the way up, yeah, yes, close to me God. When me the way up, me only see the green them, me only see the trees them, me only see the birds and the bees them, me only feel the cool breeze, so I breathe out, and I breathe in, me give thanks and blessing, me receiving now. How could I be ashamed? I'm the king and the miracle, me not take misleading. Stay focused by my journey, me watching the proceedings and living the most I teaching far in the hills. Oh, far from it all, when me the way up, hey, yes, no, yes, and if I is a culture.